is Kate Pomelo, and this is Roman. Okay, before the frenectomy, he was not nursing at all. He wouldn't transfer any milk. He had lost a pretty decent amount of weight, and I could tell that, you know, he wasn't eating at all. He wasn't getting anything when he nursed. So I was pumping for him. I was pumping every 2 hours and giving him a bottle. Let me think what else. I had a lot of pain when I would try to breastfeed him. I ended up with cracks and I was bleeding and it was extremely uncomfortable to the point where I didn't want to feed him because it hurt so bad. That was about it.
And then what was the process that led you to it, and where did you go first?
A friend of mine actually told me that it sounded like he had a posterior tongue tie. And I was really skeptical because it seems like everybody has a posterior tongue tie these days. But she gave me Sarah Lester's number and I texted her and she came over to the house and was able to, you know, she listened to him when we were breastfeeding. She was watching him. She tried to help with his latch, you know, all of those things that would have made, you know, if those were the problems, that would have, you know, she would have been able to help me fix it if that was it. And it wasn't working. And she could tell that he wasn't transferring anything. And then she looked and saw that he had a really thick posterior tongue tie. And then she's the one that said that, you know, we needed to get in to see Dr. Guy. The body work was really easy. I came in, it was right before the frenectomy. I met with Jillian. And she did about a half an hour of body work. And he went from being kind of restless to being really relaxed, to, you know, opening up like he was supposed to. I could see a difference in him just after that, you know, little session with Jillian. I think the frenectomy went really smoothly. It was really quick. It seemed to be pretty painless when I think it was about 2 minutes before, you know, between the time that I gave him to Sarah to the time I got him back, and he wasn't crying. He was completely fine when I got him back. Roman, that's okay. The recovery for Roman was a little bit trickier than I thought it was going to be. But we went from all bottle to all breast instantly. I mean, when I was handed him after the frenectomy, he latched perfectly to the point where Sarah was like, no, he's nursing. I didn't think he was. She was like, no, this is breastfeeding. I said, but it doesn't hurt. And we both just burst into tears because it was amazing that, you know, something that I thought was supposed to be a little uncomfortable was so painless. But the recovery, you know, after that for him, it was, he was a little swollen, a little sore. The stretches were kind of difficult because he didn't want to, you know, open his mouth. But I would say after the first couple of days, you know, it got better. It was one of those things where after I think around day 4 or 5, I was like, oh my gosh, was this the right decision? You know, did I make a mistake? But I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all. Since having the procedure done, the benefits have been that we can breastfeed successfully. I don't think I pumped more than once, and it was because he slept through the night. We have a good, healthy breastfeeding relationship, something that I didn't have with my last baby, because I was told she didn't have a tie, that everything was fine. You know, I ended up with suffering through, you know, 15 months of breastfeeding with her with cracks and bleeding, and I had mastitis 4 or 5 times. I mean, it was miserable, and I thought that was just what it was supposed to be. But I know now that that's not what breastfeeding is supposed to be like, that it is painless and comfortable, and so we have a good relationship breastfeeding. You know, it's not something that I'm afraid to do anymore. And he's in like the 99th percentile for height and weight now, so he's doing well. For any other mom going through the same thing that I went through, I would definitely recommend that they get in touch with Sarah, that they get in touch with some lactation consultant who knows what they're doing, who, you know, can help them see Dr. Guy and get the frenectomy done, because it was worth it. It was completely worth it.
Perfect.